It was supposed to be just another quiet evening in a small village in central India. Life in rural areas usually follows a simple rhythm. People know each other, children play in the streets, and most days pass without anything unusual happening. But on one evening in the state of Madhya Pradesh, something happened that would leave an entire community in shock. A teenage boy left home on his motorcycle, expecting to return later that night. He never made it back. What happened next was so disturbing that even experienced police officers struggled to process it. According to witnesses, the attacker didn't just kill the boy. He allegedly committed an act so horrifying that the story quickly spread across the country. This is the story of one of the most disturbing crimes reported in Damo district. The victim was a 16-year-old boy named Bharat Vishwakarma. Like many teenagers in rural India, Bharat lived a simple life, surrounded by family and neighbors who had known him since childhood. Friends described him as a normal teenager, someone who spent time with friends, rode his motorcycle around the village, and helped his family whenever he could. Nothing about that day suggested it would end in tragedy. But sometime during the evening, while traveling near his village, Bharat reportedly crossed paths with a man who had a dark and violent past, a man named Gudda Patel. According to reports from local authorities and villagers, the attack happened suddenly. Witnesses later told investigators that the accused allegedly struck the teenager with a heavy object. The attack was brutal and fast. By the time people nearby realized something was wrong, the situation had already turned deadly. But what happened next is the part of the story that shocked the entire region. Villagers who rushed to the scene claim they saw the attacker behaving in an extremely disturbing way after the murder. The details were so horrifying that many people struggled to even describe what they had witnessed. Word spread quickly through the village. Within minutes, people began gathering at the scene, some shouting, others calling the police. What they saw would haunt them for a long time. The victim, identified as Bharat Vishwakarma, 16, was a resident of Arthkheda village under the Imlia outpost. According to police, he had traveled to Samana village to visit his sister's home to receive a ceremonial tilak as part of the Bhai Dooj ritual celebrated after Holi. The incident took place in Samana village, which falls under the jurisdiction of the Dahat police station area in Damo district. According to investigators, Gudda Patel attacked the 16-year-old boy with a hammer, striking him repeatedly on the head until he was no longer able to defend himself. But the brutality did not end there. In a shocking and deeply disturbing turn, Gudda allegedly went on to mutilate the victim and consume parts of his brain. This act wasn't just a murder, it was something far more sinister, leaving even seasoned officers shaken. The sheer inhumanity of the crime sent waves of fear through the community, raising chilling questions about what could drive someone to commit such an unthinkable act. In small communities, people often react quickly when something terrible happens. As news of the attack spread, villagers began chasing the suspect. According to reports, several locals managed to capture him before he could escape. The suspect was eventually restrained and handed over to authorities. Police arrived soon after and secured the scene. By that point, the entire village was already in shock. Parents pulled their children indoors. Neighbors gathered in groups, trying to understand how something so horrifying could happen in their quiet community. But as investigators began digging deeper, they discovered something even more disturbing. This was not the first violent crime connected to the accused. Authorities later revealed that the suspect had reportedly been involved in a serious crime before. In fact, he had previously served time in prison for allegedly killing his own wife. For many villagers, this revelation raised serious questions. How could someone with such a violent past be living freely in their community again? Some locals claimed they had always felt uneasy around him. Others said they had no idea he was capable of something so extreme. But one thing was certain: the crime had shaken the entire village. Crimes involving extreme violence often raise difficult questions. Why would someone commit such an act? In cases like this, investigators usually examine several possible factors. Mental health issues can sometimes play a role in violent crimes. Psychotic episodes, substance abuse, or untreated psychological conditions may cause individuals to behave in unpredictable and dangerous ways. However, determining the exact motive behind such actions can take time. Authorities often rely on psychological evaluations, forensic evidence, and witness testimony to piece together the truth. Gudda Patel confessed to police that 16 to 17-year-old boys used to harass me. That day, when I saw a boy coming on a motorcycle, my blood boiled. I thought he would run his bike over me. Before he could do anything like that, I hit him with an iron rod. When I felt hungry and thirsty, I ate the flesh and drank the blood. In this case, investigators continued working to understand what could have driven the suspect to commit such a disturbing crime. For the people living in Demo, the tragedy left deep emotional scars. A young life had been lost in a way no one could have imagined. Families became more cautious. Parents kept a closer eye on their children. And many villagers found themselves asking the same question. How could something so horrifying happen in a place that once felt so safe? Even today, the case remains one of the most disturbing crimes discussed in the region. And for those who witnessed the aftermath, the memories of that night will never fully disappear. Because sometimes the most shocking stories don't come from big cities or famous criminals. Sometimes they happen in the quietest places.